Hello folks, SeKo Beercraft back having a couple of drinks and some more pro Starcraft replays. We got a game here. I actually forgot to put up the names. How crazy of that. Versus Alliance Naniwa, blue Protoss top right, versus Quantic Hyun, the bottom left. I've been casting a ton of Hyun games lately because the guy seems to be eating up all the different tournaments that are out there. I was actually looking up Naniwa's profile just before this game to make sure that that was Naniwa with Team Alliance, because that's his most recent team. And this guy's been a part of like 8 or 9 teams in the last 2 or 3 years. Really great player, but I'm not exactly sure why he's been bouncing around that much. Oh, yes. So, what is really interesting about Hyun's playstyle that I've noticed is he's able to mix up a good amount of pressure and early aggression with macro. I really like the style that he brought out for a few games I've seen, where he goes up to a fast 3 bases, puts down 2 macro hatches, and just power rushes them with tons of zerglings, tons and tons of roaches. We should be seeing him throw down a spawning pool before he gets his hatch, just because that's what the current metagame suggests, though we have not seen any scout come out from Naniwa here. Very, very surprising not to have any probes on this side of the map. Looks like he's going to try to get his expansion first. And he's probably going to be surprised with how easily he's going to take it. That almost looks off-center. Does that look off to anybody else? When it gets up to full size, it's probably fine. I haven't done that in the longest time. I don't know if anybody else remembers back to when they were a little bit of a newbie and you try to put down like a command center or something and you keep missing because it's not letting you build it too close, and then you end up building it like 3 or 4 spaces over to one side and you feel like an idiot. If you ever see that, just go easy on the guy. That brings up a good topic actually. The necessity of BM. I watch the chat sometimes when I'm watching pro level players play, and there'll always be somebody in there after a game's done like, wow, that Terran's such a newbie. I could play. I've seen Bronze League players better than that. And I get there's a lot of good people out there, but I don't know why so many people, in a game that's supposed to be around having a lot of fun and getting better, people feel like going out of their way to just drop crap on people. For instance, I was playing a game recently. It was actually a fairly close game. I went for some drops. He managed to shut it down. Went in. It was against a Protoss, and I was Terran. He went for a 2 Colossus push and managed to break through me. After a while, it was actually a pretty good old stalemate for a while. And then the guy, like, personal messaged me after the fact, and it's like, man, you're the worst player I've ever seen. It's not like I'm going home crying about that after the fact, even though I was playing at home, so shut up. It's just that you know that that's not true, so essentially what you're trying to do is just make somebody else feel really bad, even when you beat them. And if somebody cheeses you or BMs you and you want to throw something back in their face, go right ahead. You know, I'm all for that. I do that quite a bit too. It makes me feel better about myself. But when you're playing against some guy that's obviously not as good as you, and you beat him, or you beat him with just a good counter strategy, it doesn't make anything better to just go and drop a bunch of crap on the guy. Why not just say, hey man, see, you're still working at it, you've got to come up a little ways there, but you know, I think you've got a long ways to go. Like, best of luck, try harder. This is the strategy I take. This is what usually works against it. That's what it's really, really all about. I remember getting Void Ray rushed back in Wings of Liberty when Void Ray rushing was still a thing. And I played off against the guy. It was a really long back and forth battle. Eventually he just killed me off. Too many skill rays. And I GG'd out and left. The guy tracked me down and I said, you know, out of all the games I've played with this strategy over the last little bit as I've gotten better at it, you're the only one that's ever GG'd back. And he complimented me on saying, you know what, I get that this strategy can sometimes be a little aggravating to lose to something like that, but I can appreciate that of the time that we've had a chance to speak, sorry, of the games that we played, that you're going to take it with a grain of salt. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. And you might as well GG out, and you might as well be a good guy about it. It just makes the other person feel better and want to get better, not want to find other people to get angry about and cheese back. This is the exact same thing I usually do when I'm playing Zerg on this map, is try to move some of these zerglings around. What you want to do is make sure that no probes are getting out across the map. But as you can see, the probe does not matter. We have a warp Prism that's probably going to drop down some sentries and zealots and block the ramp. This is going to be actually really devastating if he can get himself out a sentry. Nope, too many queens. Very strange. This is something, when you do this strategy, you usually come in with a handful of sentries, like 2 sentries and 2 zealots, so that way you can get down those units faster. Oh man, Naniwa, don't you dare lose this. That'd have been so sad. Looks like he did kill off that scouting overlord. Wow. We're going to have pretty much a 2 base all in after this, I think. We're up to about 6 or 7 gates. Going to get himself the +1. Might even try to get out the +2 really fast. Now he picks up... Oh, it's going to be an immortal drop. Now, I'm pretty sure Hyun saw that. Roach is coming out for Hyun. Not going to be the best counter against what is coming down. Does have the Hydralisk den though. That will help a ton. Hydralisks are great against Immortals. Yeah, you might as well micro against the Roaches. You're going to be... Roaches are so bad against Immortals that you can micro against them so well. This could be really, really tough for Hyun to hold off though. The Immortals mixed in with the Zealots are probably going to be super effective. He's rallying all of his units to the top right now. There's no sentries in here, so he could run away with all the workers if he wanted to. Oh man, that is a ton of +1 zealots. The problem is you can't go zerglings against this because they're +1 zealots. They will cut through armies so fast. Hyun is fighting. I'm going to keep the workers. They're just on a hold position, trying to keep the zealots back. You see the Hyun's losing a ton of supply on this. This is a really, really tough build to hold off. He's losing a ton of workers now, down to 50 supply. This just looked like a really, really good innovative strategy out of Naniwa. You see the hold position on the zealots trying to hold, on the drones trying to hold the zealots back. Oh man. That's pretty much GG. Half the supply of the opponent. This is a sick build. He loses the Immortal, but once again, these zealots are +1, so they 2-shot zerglings. They cut through them so fast. That was a massacre. Yeah. Unit stab. Less than half the worker supply. Tried to focus down the nexus. So nexus. Tried to focus down the hatch, but doesn't get it. Yeah, that's pretty much GG. This army here will probably be enough to beat it, let alone this one at the front. These zealots don't have charge, so you can micro against it for a while with the creep. Yeah, but there's the GG. That was a crazy play. I've been thinking about picking up Protoss for a while now, just to learn how to get a little bit better at some of these plays. That was a fantastic strategy, worked super well, and the Roach play was completely wrong. +1 really, really work against all those zerglings. I'm impressed. Very impressive game from Naniwa. I hope you guys like that. We'll be back with you very soon.